human rights. First of all, it is what? Universal. What did we say about the universality of human rights? Human rights, what did we explain to be the universality of human rights? It's general all over the place, all over the world, as long as you are a human right, a human being. It is inalienable. What did we say that means? It cannot be taken away from you. You remember Fela's song, Human Rights Now My What? Property. You know that song? So nobody, what has not been given
okay, to do this. So it's one thing to tell people about human rights. It is also another thing for them to recognize that they need to build trust in that dispensation of the rights of people, reflecting on what human rights really means. And because that's really lacking. So one side is dealing with this with the police, the other side is also doing things with the youth and also doing stuff with the community, so that we can all have peaceful coexistence, but also have the kind of security we deserve as a people, and also support one another in doing that. So that's actually why we're doing it. So it was something that was given birth to out of the aftermath of the NSAS. And then there's so many things, there's so many reasons why that's happening. So, and I'll just give you some of that, and then we'll be able to then continue to do this. One of it is the fact that you want every human being deserves to have safety of himself and his property. Every human being. So anytime you see that your security is threatened, as a human being, you will be happy. Okay, so this is really the issue, because we have a lot of security challenges. So when you have a lot of security challenges, the first thing you need to ask yourself is who has been empowered or who has been mandated to provide that security for me, and that's the government. And through also the security agencies are supposed to be the ones doing it, providing that. But on the other hand, you also have to ask yourself, what have been provided for the security officers to dispatch this responsibility? You require forensic equipment, you require enough capacity building, you require also enough resources, logistics to make sure that the needful is done. I mean, if you need to go on to apprehend a criminal that is running away, you have a vehicle that is moving, you need fuel and things like that. And so many other aspects, including, as I had mentioned earlier, the forensic equipment. Now, when you find that this is not being provided for the security agencies, and what it will result to is that the security agencies will not, of course, be effective in securing you and I. And if they're not effective in securing you and I, then the next thing is that you see them as people who are not effective, and then the community would also be, antagonistic towards them. But there is a missing link, which is also one of the things we are trying to promote. There is no single institution that can wholeheartedly and single-handedly provide security. So that's, on one level, we recognize the need for interagency cooperation, not even only the police. All the security agencies must work together to provide what we call the 3 C's, the nation of cooperation, collaboration, and coordination. But that does not solve all our problems. Beyond that, you also need the citizens' involvement. And that's where now we come and talk about the whole of society approach. You need the communities to trust the process, to provide intelligence, provide information that can enable this process go on. So that's how we are doing it. So once there is, if I see you as a friend, not because you tell me you are my friend, but if you indeed act towards me as a friend, I can trust you, and if I trust you, I'll provide information to you.
Consequently, what this means is that it helps you to reach the end in not in real ways, but what you're saying in essence is that what this helps you to do is that all that you have been authorized to do, you will achieve it in good time. You will achieve it following the legal process, because you have applied the proportional force. The next one is the principle of legality. Are your actions legal? This is very, very important. So I have a question to ask. Now, if there is a Mr. John, and Mr. John comes to you, sir,
I'm SP Geoffrey Obona, the Police Public Relations Officer, Abia State Command. The Prawa organization is organizing a workshop for police officers from Abia State Command, drawn from made up of the DPOs and the DCOs. And the training is all about human rights and trust building. You know, this issue of human rights has generated a lot, and the organization decides to train the DPOs and the DCOs on such, so as to respect, protect, and fulfill human rights. It's a very nice training for the police officers that are present here, and why they drew the police officers from the offices of DPOs and DCOs is such that when they get back to their various divisions, they will be able to impart what they have gathered today to their subordinates, since all the police officers cannot be pulled out to attend this workshop. So it is imperative that all the officers here today who have come will definitely go home with something they will impart, transfer to their subordinates in their various divisions and formations. And that is the essence of this today. And if you see police as your friend, knowing full well the duties of the police, which is basically to protect lives and property, you know that any person who has really come up to say or take up a job of protecting lives and property should be your friend. Ordinarily, that person should be your friend, because it's not everybody that may decide or that will decide to take up this job. Protection of lives and property is ultimate. So once you see a police officer as somebody who is really employed, or somebody who has presented himself to render such service, and you know the importance or the relevance of your life and property, then you will therefore extend that regard you have for your property and your life to somebody else who has volunteered himself to ensure the safety of your life and property. I want to believe that some of the people who have participated in this workshop today, who perhaps have been having one deficiency in them or another as regards protection of human rights, will really know that protection of that human rights is inalienable. It's something you cannot take away from any person, and it is something you have to get everywhere. So far as you are a human being, it is your entitlement as a human being. So it is expected that police officers will restore such human rights with dignity and respect, because even the police officers too, they have their human rights, because they are human beings. My charge to my fellow police officers is that in every situation they should try to protect human rights.